All right, everyone, get those bags packed because today we are diving deep into Berlin.
Ooh, Berlin.
We've got this travel guide here. Berlin, top attractions and travel guide, ready to unlock all the secrets and the magic of this incredible city.
It really is such a captivating city. A city that embodies resilience, transformation, and a vibrant mix of old and new.
I love that. You're right. It's that mix of old and new, which I think a lot of people are drawn to. But I know your time is valuable, so we're going to skip past the generic tourist traps, the stuff everyone already knows. We're going to unearth some hidden gems, the must-know historical context and strategic insights that will make your trip truly unforgettable.
That's what we're here for, right? Consider this your masterclass in experiencing Berlin like a seasoned local.
Love it. So this guide highlights 12 key attractions. Should we just jump right in?
Let's dive in.
All right, let's start with one that I'm sure everybody's at least seen a picture of, the iconic Brandenburg Gate.
Ah, yes. The Brandenburg Gate. It's a must-see for any visitor to Berlin. Everyone knows it from pictures, but what most people don't realize is the sheer scale of this monument. It's huge.
Yeah, this guide was saying that its imposing size is meant to inspire awe and emphasize its symbolic importance.
Right. And speaking of symbolism, it's fascinating how the Brandenburg Gate has transitioned from a symbol of division during the Cold War to one of unity and hope.
So initially it was built as a symbol of peace in the late 18th century.
That's correct. But then it later became part of the Berlin Wall, a literal physical barrier between East and West Berlin.
And when the wall fell in 1989, the gate transformed into a powerful symbol of reunification.
Exactly, a testament to the city's ability to overcome even the deepest divisions.
Wow. So visiting the Brandenburg Gate is like stepping into a living history lesson.
Yeah.
I'm feeling inspired already.
And here's an insider tip. Visit the Brandenburg Gate at sunrise.
Ooh, at sunrise.
Yeah. The soft golden light, the quiet streets before the city awakens, it creates an almost magical atmosphere.
That is going straight to the top of my itinerary, sunrise at the Brandenburg Gate check. What's next?
All right. Let's journey to Museum Island, a UNESCO World Heritage Site that is home to 5 world-renowned museums.
5.
5. If you're a history buff or an art enthusiast, you could easily spend days exploring the treasures on Museum Island.
I can imagine, but maybe a little overwhelming. Where should someone even begin if they only have a day or two?
Well, the News Museum is a must-see.
New News Museum.
Okay. It houses the famous bust of Nefertiti, an Egyptian queen who lived over 3,000 years ago.
3,000 years ago.
I know. Her perfectly preserved features and captivating gaze are truly mesmerizing.
That's incredible. And I was looking through this guide, and it also mentions Donatello's Pazzi Madonna at the Bode Museum.
Oh, yes, another masterpiece. The Pazzi Madonna is a masterpiece of Renaissance sculpture, renowned for its emotional intensity and exquisite detail.
Yeah, what's the story there? How did this Italian Renaissance treasure end up in Berlin?
Well, it's a testament to the city's long history as a center of art and culture. Over the centuries, Berlin has amassed an incredible collection of art and artifacts from all over the world.
So it's not just German history and art, it's really global.
Exactly. Berlin has always been a crossroads, a meeting point of different cultures and influences.
Okay, I am officially adding Museum Island to my must-see list. But for now, let's shift gears and reach for the sky. This guide is all about the Berlin TV Tower, Germany's highest structure.
Ah, yes, the TV Tower. It's a modern icon of Berlin, offering breathtaking views of the cityscape from its observation deck at a height of 666 feet.
666 feet. That is high. I bet the view is incredible.
It is truly spectacular.
Does this guide have any tips for visiting the TV tower?
Absolutely. First, plan ahead and book your tickets online.
Online, okay.
The lines can be long, especially during peak season. And second, if you're interested in dining with a view, the tower has a revolving restaurant.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
It does, but it's currently closed for renovations.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and won't reopen until 2025.
Good to know. So soak in those views from the observation deck, but maybe pack a snack for now. What's next in our Berlin adventure?
Let's delve into the world of wildlife at the Berlin Zoo.
The Berlin Zoo.
It's the oldest zoo in Germany and one of the most species diverse in the world.
Over 20,000 animals.
It's an incredible place.
I have to admit, I'm a bit of a zoo skeptic,
Yeah.
but I'm intrigued.
I understand. But the Berlin Zoo has a remarkable history. It survived 2 world wars, periods of economic hardship, and even political division.
And it's still going strong.
Exactly. It persevered, continually adapting and evolving, much like the city itself. Today, it's a leading institution in conservation and animal welfare, home to a stunning array of creatures from giant pandas to rare reptiles.
You piqued my interest. What's so special about their pandas?
Well, they're the only giant pandas in all of Germany,
Really?
and a symbol of the zoo's commitment to conservation. Seeing these gentle giants up close is a truly memorable experience.
The pandas are officially on the list. What's next?
Let's step into the heart of German politics with a visit to the Reichstag building, home to the German parliament.
The Reichstag building. This guide calls it an architectural masterpiece, blending different styles. I'm intrigued by the mention of a massive glass dome.
Ah, yes, the Reichstag dome. It's more than just an architectural marvel. It's a powerful symbol of transparency in government,
Transparency.
allowing visitors to literally look down on the parliamentary proceedings below.
You can look down on the parliament.
You can. It's quite a sight.
Whoa. Okay, I need to see that. Are there any tips for someone wanting to go?
Booking your visit online in advance is essential.
Online again?
Got it.
Slots fill up quickly. Trust me, the views and the experience are worth the extra planning.
Okay, note to self, book the Reichstag dome ASAP. Now I'm ready for a little retail therapy. What's the shopping scene like in Berlin?
Well, if you're looking for high-end shopping and elegant avenues, Kurfürstendamm is the place to be.
Kurfürstendamm.
Often compared to the Champs-Élysées in Paris, with flagship stores from luxury brands like Chanel, Dior, and Prada. Ooh la la, that sounds fancy. This guide also mentions high-end brands like Apple and Tommy Hilfiger. Are there any uniquely Berlin experiences on this street? Or is it mostly global brands?
You'll find plenty of international brands, but there are also hidden gems tucked away on the side streets.
Okay, good. Because I want to experience Berlin, not just, shops I can find anywhere.
Absolutely. And for a taste of authentic Berlin cuisine, skip the fancy burger joints and try a traditional Kreuzburger.
A Kreuzburger, what is that exactly?
It's a Berlin street food staple, a simple but delicious sandwich with a juicy beef patty, often served with onions and pickles.
It sounds good.
Oh.
Okay, Kreuzburger, here I came. But now let's shift gears a bit and delve into some of Berlin's more somber history. This guide takes us to the Berlin Wall Memorial next.
The Berlin Wall Memorial is an essential experience for anyone visiting Berlin.
Essential.
It's a place for reflection and remembrance, where you can stand in the shadow of the wall and truly grasp its impact on the city and its people.
Yeah. The guide describes it as a sobering but essential experience. What can someone expect to see and learn there?
Well, the memorial consists of preserved sections of the actual wall, complete with watchtowers and guard posts.
Wow, so you can see the actual wall.
You can walk along the former death strip and see the remnants of the fortifications that once divided the city.
I can't even imagine. What else does the memorial offer?
There's also an outdoor exhibition detailing the history of the wall, its construction, and its eventual fall. You'll see photos, documents, and personal stories that bring the events of the Cold War to life.
Wow, that sounds really impactful.
It is. And for an even deeper dive, I highly recommend visiting the Documentation Center.
The Documentation Center. What's special about that?
It goes beyond the basic facts and figures, delving into the human stories behind the wall. You'll hear firsthand accounts from people who lived through the division, escaped to the West, or lost loved ones trying to cross the border. It adds a whole new layer of understanding to the memorial experience.
It seems like a really powerful experience. Okay, from one powerful historical site to another, our next stop is the Holocaust Memorial.
The Holocaust Memorial is a space designed to provoke reflection and remembrance. It's a vast field of concrete slabs, each of a different height, creating an unsettling and disorienting effect.
2,711 concrete slabs, to be exact.
That's right. Architect Peter Eisenman wanted to create a space that defied easy interpretation, a place that evoked feelings of unease and uncertainty, reflecting the chaos and terror of the Holocaust.
It definitely sounds like a thought-provoking and emotionally charged experience. Is there anything else to see at the Holocaust Memorial besides the field of slabs?
Beneath the field of slabs is an underground information center. It's dedicated to the individual stories of Holocaust victims, presenting photographs, letters, and personal belongings that bring their lives and experiences into focus.
So it's not just about the scale of the tragedy, but also about remembering the individual lives lost.
Exactly. Each person had a story, a life that was tragically cut short.
It sounds like both the memorial and the information center offer a deeply personal and powerful way to engage with this dark chapter of history. Okay, next up on our Berlin tour, we're heading back in time to the Cold War with a visit to Checkpoint Charlie.
Checkpoint Charlie, one of the most famous border crossings between East and West Berlin.
The pictures in this guide are iconic. I'm picturing that guardhouse and the American and Soviet flags.
It's definitely a popular spot for photos.
It is.
But it's important to remember that Checkpoint Charlie was more than just a photo op. It was a site of tension, fear, and even tragedy as people risked their lives trying to cross from East to West Berlin.
So it's more than just a tourist attraction. How can someone get a deeper understanding of Checkpoint Charlie's historical significance?
Well, while the guardhouse itself is a replica, there's a nearby museum called the Mauer Museum, or Checkpoint Charlie Museum.
Okay.
It houses a fascinating collection of artifacts and stories from the Cold War era, including ingenious escape devices used by East Germans trying to reach the West.
Wow, the escape devices. That's really interesting. The Mauer Museum sounds like a must-visit for anyone interested in Cold War history. All right, after all that history, I'm ready for some architectural grandeur. What about the Berlin Cathedral?
The Berlin Cathedral, a masterpiece of Renaissance and Baroque architecture. Its massive green dome dominates the skyline of Museum Island, and its interior is just as impressive.
The pictures in this guide don't do it justice. This guide raves about its impressive green dome and mentions a 7,269 pipe organ.
Oh, the organ is magnificent. It fills the entire cathedral with its sound.
Wow. What else makes the Berlin Cathedral stand out?
Well, the cathedral's interior is adorned with intricate mosaics, stained glass windows, and a magnificent altar. And for those who enjoy panoramic views, climbing to the top of the dome is a rewarding experience.
How far is the climb?
It's 270 steps, but the view from the top is worth the effort. You'll get a breathtaking perspective of Berlin's cityscape.
All right, I'm adding climb the dome to my Berlin Cathedral to-do list. Now I'm definitely ready for a break from all the hustle and bustle of the city. What about Tiergarten?
Tiergarten. It's Berlin's answer to Central Park, a sprawling green oasis in the heart of the city.
I can already feel myself relaxing. The guide mentions Uckergarten, a rose garden, and various monuments within the park. What are some of the must-see spots in Tiergarten?
Well, one of my favorite spots is the Rosengarten, a beautiful rose garden with over 2,000 varieties of roses in bloom from spring to autumn. It's a truly romantic and fragrant escape.
A rose garden, 2,000 varieties. That sounds incredible.
It is. And for a bit of history, check out the Victory Column, a towering monument commemorating Prussian victories in the 19th century. You can climb to the top for panoramic views of the park and the city beyond.
2 climbs in one day. I'm going to need to train for this trip. Okay, Tiergarten is definitely sounding like the perfect place to unwind and soak in the beauty of nature. Now for our final stop on this whirlwind tour of Berlin's highlights, let's talk sports.
All right, Berlin is a city passionate about football, and it's home to 2 major clubs, Hertha BSC and 1 FC Union Berlin.
This guide says Hertha BSC plays in the Bundesliga, which is the top tier of German football, right?
That's right. Hertha BSC is one of the oldest and most established clubs in Germany with a long history of success. They play their home matches at the Olympiastadion, a massive stadium built for the 1936 Olympic Games.
Wow, the Olympiastadion, that's got to be an impressive venue.
It is steeped in history and sporting glory.
What about 1 FC Union Berlin?
1 FC Union Berlin is a club with a more recent history, but a passionate fan base. They play in the second tier of German football, but their matches are known for their electric atmosphere.
I love that.
Their home stadion, an der Alten Försterei, is a smaller, more intimate venue, creating a unique and intense fan experience.
So we've got 2 distinct football experiences in Berlin. One steeped in history at the Olympiastadion, and one known for its passionate fan base at Stadion an der Alten Försterei.
Exactly. Whether you're a die-hard football fan or just curious about the local sports culture, catching a match in Berlin is an experience you won't soon forget.
All right, I'm making a note to check the football schedules for my trip. We've covered so much ground already. From iconic landmarks to hidden gems, Berlin is bursting with history, culture, and exciting experiences.
And we've only just scratched the surface. Now that we've explored the highlights, let's dive into the strategic insights that will help you make the most of your time in this incredible city.
That sounds great. I can't wait to hear more about how to experience Berlin like a local.
I'm happy to share my insights.
Awesome. Stay tuned, everyone, because we're going to take your Berlin trip to the next level.
Let's do it.
All right, we just toured some of Berlin's most iconic spots. But now I'm ready for those insider tips you promised. How do we take this trip from, tourist to like total Berlin immersion?
I like that attitude. Remember, a travel guide is just a starting point. The real magic happens when you step off the beaten path, embrace the unexpected, and connect with the city on a deeper level.
Okay, I'm ready to connect. Where do we begin?
Let's start with a simple strategy that can make or break your Berlin experience. Timing.
Timing.
Yeah, we talked about that magical sunrise experience at the Brandenburg Gate.
Right.
But that principle applies to many of Berlin's popular attractions. Think Museum Island in the late afternoon when the big tour groups have thinned out, or an evening stroll along Kurfürstendamm as the city lights begin to twinkle.
So we're talking early mornings and late evenings for those iconic spots.
Exactly. It's all about outsmarting the crowds.
Okay, outsmart the crowds, got it. Are there any other time-saving tricks you got up your sleeve?
Absolutely. Remember those online bookings for the Reichstag Dome and the TV tower?
Yeah?
Those aren't just suggestions, they're essential. These attractions are incredibly popular, and tickets can disappear faster than you can say currywurst.
Okay, online booking is a must. No last-minute scrambling for this traveler. What about saving some euros along the way? Any tips on that front?
Combo tickets.
Combo tickets.
Berlin offers a variety of passes and combination tickets that can save you money and streamline your sightseeing. For example, if you're planning to visit several museums on Museum Island, a multi-day museum pass is a great investment.
Makes sense. More bang for your buck. So we've got timing and tickets covered, but I have to admit, I'm not just about seeing the sights. I want to understand the stories, the context, the deeper layers of Berlin. How can we do that?
I knew you were going to say that. And that's what separates the traveler from the tourist. It's about engaging with the city's history, its culture, its complexities.
I'm ready to engage. Give me the goods.
Remember our discussions about the documentation center at the Berlin Wall Memorial and the information center at the Holocaust Memorial?
Yeah.
Those are prime examples of how to go beyond the surface level.
Right. It's about delving into the personal stories, the human impact of these events.
Exactly. Don't just observe. Immerse yourself. Take the time to read the exhibits, listen to the audio guides, watch the documentaries. Allow yourself to be moved, challenged, and transformed by these experiences.
Okay, I love that idea. But I also want to experience the modern, vibrant side of Berlin. Any tips on finding those hidden gems, those local hangouts that tourists often miss?
Berlin is a city full of surprises, and often the best experiences are found off the beaten path. For example, instead of just snapping a photo at Checkpoint Charlie, which can be a bit of a tourist trap venture a few blocks away to the Mauer Museum, or Checkpoint Charlie Museum.
You mentioned that earlier. What's so special about the Mauer Museum?
It's a treasure trove of Cold War artifacts and stories, including those ingenious escape devices used by East Germans trying to reach the West. You'll get a much more nuanced and authentic perspective on the Cold War era there.
Sounds fascinating. Okay, what about getting a taste of local life, the real Berlin, beyond the tourist attractions?
One of the best ways to experience Berlin like a local is to embrace its outdoor spaces. We talked about Tiergarten, but there are parks and gardens scattered throughout the city, each with its own unique charm.
Parks and gardens, I'm listening. Any favorites you'd recommend?
Well, besides Tiergarten, I'm quite fond of Victoria Park in Kreuzberg.
Victoria Park.
Yeah, it's a bit of a hidden gem with a waterfall, a beer garden, and stunning views of the city.
Yeah, I'm sold. What kind of vibe does it have?
It's a relaxed bohemian atmosphere, popular with locals, but often overlooked by tourists. You can pack a picnic, wander the winding paths, or simply relax by the waterfall and enjoy the serenity.
That sounds lovely. Okay, I know we talked about the high-end shopping scene on Kurfürstendamm, but what about those unique, quirky Berlin finds? Where do we go for those?
For vintage treasures, independent boutiques, and a taste of Berlin's alternative culture, head to the neighborhoods of Prenzlauer Berg and Friedrichshain.
Prenzlauer Berg and Friedrichshain.
Okay. You'll find everything from antique shops and bookstores to record stores and quirky cafes.
Sounds right up my alley. What's the best way to explore those neighborhoods?
Just wander and let yourself be surprised. Duck into those intriguing little shops, strike up conversations with the locals, soak in the creative energy that permeates these neighborhoods.
All right, so we've got our timing strategies, our ticket booking tips, and our insider recommendations for hidden gems and local experiences. Anything else we should keep in mind as we plan our Berlin adventure?
Remember, Berlin is a city that rewards curiosity and a willingness to explore. Don't be afraid to venture beyond the familiar, to get a little lost, to embrace the unexpected.
I love that. Embrace the unexpected. Get a little lost. That's the essence of travel, isn't it?
Exactly. It's about opening yourself up to new experiences, new perspectives, new ways of seeing the world. And Berlin, with its rich history, its vibrant culture, and its ever-evolving energy, is the perfect place to do just that.
I'm feeling so inspired and ready to dive headfirst into the Berlin experience. But before we wrap up part 2, any last words of wisdom to send our listener off with?
Remember, Berlin is a city of contrasts, a place where history and modernity collide, where the avant-garde meets the traditional. Embrace those contrasts, explore the different facets of the city, and allow yourself to be captivated by its unique charm.
I'm already feeling like a seasoned Berlin explorer thanks to all those tips.
I'm glad to hear it. Remember, it's not just about checking off those landmarks, but truly immersing yourself in the city's rhythm.
You've equipped me with everything from crowd-dodging tactics to uncovering those hidden gems. I can already picture myself like wandering through Victoria Park with a picnic basket.
I love it. And imagine yourself at the top of the Reichstag Dome, looking out over the city. What aspects of Berlin's story do you think will resonate most with you?
That's a great question. I'm drawn to the layers of history, the resilience of the people, that blend of like grit and glamour that seems to define Berlin. What about you? What's your favorite thing about Berlin?
Oh, that's a tough one. It's hard to choose just one thing. I think for me, it's the constant evolution, the way Berlin reinvents itself while still honoring its past. It's a city that embraces change, that challenges conventions, that never stops surprising you.
It sounds like Berlin is a city that kind of stays with you long after you've left.
It does.
And I think that's the mark of a truly great travel experience, right?
Absolutely. It's about those moments of connection, those unexpected discoveries, those stories that you carry with you and share with others.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Berlin, I want to leave our listener with a final thought.
Right.
Don't just go to Berlin, experience it. Talk to the locals. Wander off the beaten path and allow yourself to get lost in the magic of this incredible city.
I couldn't agree more. Let curiosity be your guide and let Berlin surprise you.
We can't wait to hear about your Berlin adventures. Share your stories, your discoveries, your favorite hidden gems with us. Until then, happy travels and happy exploring.